So I've been really wanting to make this video for a while, and that is the studio tour. Usually though, this whole space is covered in a mess. Finally, I've got the room ready, and even though in my videos, it kind of looks like my studio is fairly clean, I just pushed the mess all the way behind the camera so you can't see it. But there actually isn't a mess behind the camera. You can see it right here. I don't know, it's not too bad. Right? It may look terrible to you, but to me, this is clean. The first stop today is going to be the desk. So this is where I mainly do all of my work. Whenever I'm making illustrations or making my comic or editing videos, this is my workstation right here. So the desk right here is from Autonomous, and it's a standing desk. And I got this back in the COVID era in 2020. After the president of the company that I work for sent us home, he gave all of us $300 to fix up our work from home setup. And at the time, Autonomous was selling their standing desks for $300, and that was perfect. So I bought this with that money, and it's great. It's saved my back so many times, and just being able to just press a button and the desk will raise up to standing height, and you can work from there. And then when you get tired, you can press another button and it goes straight down. And it's great. I don't know how much Autonomous desks are going for now, but I'm pretty sure it's more than $300 at this moment. This right here is the main drawing tablet that I work from. This is the Huion 19 Canvas Pro. I think that's what it's called. I may have the words mixed up a little bit, but I actually got this Christmas. If you've seen my videos before, most of my work has been done off of my iPad, and I'm just so happy I've been able to buy a bigger screen to work off of. So this is not its own computer. This is basically a drawing monitor, and it is attached to a computer. This drawing tablet, it's been really great to work on. It's been really nice to work off of a bigger screen that's not super small like my 12.9-inch iPad. This is the computer that it's attached to. This is the M2 Mac Mini, and this Mac Mini is so strong. It's so powerful. It can handle everything that I do here from home. And on top, I have Aang and Momo accompanying me, and then my hard drive for my YouTube stuff. This thing right here is a timer. So whenever I really need to focus, I set this to a specific amount of time, usually 30 minutes to an hour, and it basically times everything. When the time is up, it's time for me to do something else. This timer right here has been super helpful to just manage your time, because just like everybody else, I'm really bad. I'm really horrible at managing my time. When I'm feeling really good, I just want to work for like 3 hours straight, but that's not always sustainable. You need to have a balanced work life. This has been really, really helpful. This is my Logitech speaker. So we have one over here and then one on this side. These are from Amazon. They're cheaper than most things that you find in Best Buy or anywhere else. This is a cup that I've been mixing paints in for a special project that I've kind of put on hold. This is my Logitech mouse, and this is really great for video editing and ergonomics for your hand. On the left-hand side are my headphones. So this is a pair of Sony's that my wife got me. This is really, really great to have on hand whenever you are working and you're trying to focus. And then of course, as a comic book artist, I have to have a comic somewhere on the table. So right now I've been reading through Kaya by Wes Craig. I love the designs of the characters too, and the fantasy world that he built. We can talk about this book in a later video, but I really love this book. So I recommend that you check it out. This is the sketchbook that I'm currently working on right now. And this is the place where I can just doodle sketches and write notes to myself, which you can kind of see here, my disapproval of my horrible drawing. I've been trying to practice anatomy and go back to my roots of just learning, because I do think that I've been struggling a lot lately with the anatomy of my characters, and making a comic has definitely revealed that to me. And then right underneath are my cables. As you can see, my cables are horribly managed, and it always bothers me because my feet always hit these hanging cables underneath. So in the comments, down below if you made it this far. Let me know of any cable management ideas that you have, any tools that can help me make this area a little bit cleaner. We can go to the wall behind us, and this is my wall of art. This is the first artwork that I want to show you guys. I actually have two, the other one's on that side right there, but this is by, I think you pronounce it Kei Hasuk, and he takes these cartoons and manga and anime, and he kind of creates these big illustrations with all of the characters throughout the history. So this is one that's for Dragon Ball Z. Being a kid from the 90s, I loved this show so much. Even though we didn't have cable, I just loved watching it on vacations or going to my cousin's house. This is another one that he did of Avatar: The Last Airbender. All of the characters and all the moments of Avatar are just represented here. This illustration right here is done by Mike Del Mundo, and he's another one of my favorite comic book artists. I love the silhouette and the design of the figures, and it's just a fun illustration for such a terrifying character. This illustration here is done by a friend of mine. She's extremely talented in what she does, and I just love landscapes as well. And this landscape just feels so peaceful to me, and it brings me a lot of peace. It really does. I like the shape design. I like the colors she uses. It just feels very soft and nice. This one up here has a really cool story to it. And when we get to better lighting, this illustration up here, the T-Rex holding the guitar, I got this illustration from a homeless guy. So me and my wife were driving back from the park. At one of the stoplights, there was a guy with a ton of art that was being hung. And he had a sign that was like, I think it read, "Name your offer," or whatever like that. And so I pulled over to a parking lot and I was like, "How much do you want? How much do you need?" And he was like, "You know, whatever you want to give me." And all I had was 10 bucks in my wallet, but I gave him that $10, and I was able to get this cool artwork. I've never seen him again after that. I do have his signature, but I do not know his name, unfortunately. Next up is the comics that I have displayed here. Each one of these I really love for different reasons. This is a Captain America issue by Stan Lee, and it's also signed by Stan Lee right here. My cousin who lives in New Jersey, she goes to New York Comic Cons, and she was able to get this for me probably maybe 2 or 3 years before Stan Lee passed away. So I really cherish this comic a lot. This is an issue of The Thing and Fantastic Four. I think this art is done by Art Adams, and again, just really amazing art. I love the line art and the colors and the figures. And the one at the bottom, this one is Action Comics number 1000. This is a huge milestone for all comics. I don't know if any comic has ever reached 1,000 issues before. I may be wrong about that, but the fact that it's a Superman comic is significant because he is like the father of the superhero genre. Now, I know that you have probably seen these two shelves before in some older videos that I've done, but I have 3 shelves. There's another shelf right behind you guys there. So on my right, this is where I have my American and European comics. On this side, this is where I have my manga, and I also have some other random things in here as well. And then in the other side behind you guys, and I'll show this to you later, is my art bookshelf. On top of each bookshelf, I have a ton of toys and other things that I like. I have been recently trying to get into film. So here's a Minolta camera that I bought from the camera store. Here's some camera lenses. Here's Ingrid up there. I got a 3D printed Ingrid. Here's another old film camera that my dad used to have back in the 80s. Funko Pops, another film camera up here. We have Nintendo Power from one of the months of 1992. So that's pretty cool right there, given to me by my sister-in-law. And we got Cyclops, the leader of the X-Men, and Groot. And so if we look down here, where more in depth at the other comics that I have, the ones that I have up top are usually my most favorite comics. And then the ones underneath those shelves, they're not really in any specific order, but this is basically all I have here. A lot of them I haven't read either. I've just been collecting them without reading them. I really need to get on that. On top of the manga bookshelf, here are the figures and the toys that I have up here. So this is Teenage Goku in his first appearance. I love the pose and I love the craftsmanship of the model. To his right is classic Saiyan Vegeta. This is one of the first figures that I've ever bought. And then if we go to the right, this is a Minecraft Lego house that I built a few months ago. We got Captain America, we got a Game Boy Color, and then we have 2 figurines of Digimon, one of my favorite all-time shows when I was a kid. And then to the left is this poster that I made for my comic, Cosmic Casuals. So you can see the main characters are up here at the front, and then we have our two villains in the back. And I don't really have a name for this guy, but this is the Frog King. And maybe down the line, whenever I finish this first story, we can go on and focus on this guy over here. And this is the manga shelf. Most of the manga shelf consists of Dragon Ball and One Piece. I am a big fan of those two things, as you can obviously tell, but I do have some other things as well. Here's a Nausicaa. The other book is in my other office at work, more Akira Toriyama stuff. Down here I have some Full Metal Alchemist. I got a Gundam book, some books by Junji Ito, and then some other manga that I've been interested in through the years. This is my manga collection, mostly a Dragon Ball and One Piece collection. All right, so this is my art bookshelf right here. And this basically holds all of my inspiration books and my teaching books that teach me. I don't teach from them, but I have a collection of everything art related, just filled with a place where I can just sit down and absorb other people's art. This is a book by Jake Parker, and I have a ton of old sketchbooks from years and years ago. This is a sketchbook from when I was 12, and then the ones on top is from like 2015 or 2016. I think around 8 or 9 years ago, I decided to start keeping my sketchbooks because I think it's a good reminder to myself of how far I have come and grown as an artist. Because sometimes it's easy to think that you haven't grown as much or you're not that good, but whenever you look at a past sketchbook, you can physically see how well and how far you've come. So these are all of my old sketchbooks. I also have like a lot of fundamental things. Here's Stonehouse's anatomy. Here's how to render in pen and ink, how to draw. I have a lot of art of books, the art of Castle in the Sky, one of my favorite Ghibli movies of all time, perspective books, and just a lot of other books down here too. I'm always trying to learn as much as I can. So yeah, this is basically my inspiration right here. I have this chair that I'm sitting on, and this is just basically an area where I can read a lot of comic books and kind of relax and just be away from work. I think that's basically the main thing I'm trying to say. So I am actually considering rearranging my entire studio. But the thing is though, I don't really know what to do with the space. I've been using this same layout for about 2 years now, and I believe that it's time to make something new. I know some of you guys are pretty good at room design or interior design. Let me know in the comments of things that I need. Do I need plants? Do I need more figurines? Do I need less bookshelves? What kind of lighting should I have? I am up for any suggestions that you guys have.